Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Bumby here, back today with a new video. Okay, today we're going to be having a little bit of a deep dive, talk about the new 88 films release of Untold Story, or The Untold Story. Okay, so this came out I think last Monday from 88 Films. First of all, we'll have a little look at the set itself. So we've got amazing newly commissioned artwork on the front there, Anthonywong's character serving out the pain, and then you've got all the bumbling cops and everything behind him, so that's really good. The back is just like the back of a normal inlay with the information, and you've got your spine. Was it that way I need to be doing it? No, that was right the first time. Okay, and then you just get your standard armory then, and you've got a lovely picture disc inside to match, and there's also the standard reversible art. Okay, probably keep the reversible art because you've got the newly commissioned art on the slip cover anyway, so you can have the best of both worlds. And if you use the reversible art as well, you've got the Cat 3 label by there, although I don't know if that was on the other side or not. Yeah, it was actually, so ignore me, so that's fine. You've got that either way. Alright, you get a nice poster, nice thick material. Not massive, but it's better to have the better material and a bit of a smaller size, I guess. I think Anthonywong's still going. So, you know, if you're ever lucky enough to meet him at a con, then yeah, it'd be wicked to have that signed. And then you get a booklet, which was absolutely amazing. I read all this front to back before I did this review, and it did give me some stuff to talk about, so I'm glad I did, and come back to it later. The design's wicked on it, you know, this one. Okay, so yeah, I watched the film, and it was a first time view for me, okay, and yeah, I mean, if anyone's just looking to find my overall opinion, I'm going to say the movie was very good. Okay, so first thing to talk about is it's made in the 90s, okay, so it's got a bit of a video nasty feel about it, but the special effects are better, although for a movie that was made in the 90s, some of the effects are still a bit ropey, I gotta be honest. But anyway, in China, in the early 90s, I don't think they had much of a rating system, so they brought in this category 3. It's only the equivalent of an 18, so it's nothing too extreme. It's not to be confused with a section 3 of video nasties or anything like that, you know. Cat 3, like I said, it's just the equivalent of an 18, and then you've got a Cat 2 that's like a 15. But they didn't have the rating system in China until about the early 90s, so a lot of directors, they didn't even bother with extreme horror or anything. But then when the rating system come, and they were told, you know, you can have films with boobs in, you can have films with violence in, then it opened up a big tin of worms out for them to keep making these obscure movies, and that's where you get the sort of Cat 3 sort of become a subgenre in itself, even though the movies can be varied. The most popular ones are obviously The Untold Story, A Bowler System, which also stars what's his name, Wong? I just said his bloody name. My memory is absolutely shot to bits these days, I gotta be fair. My short-term memory, Anthonywong. And the same director as well, so that's A Bowler Syndrome as well. I think it's called Sex and Zen, which is probably the most popular one, and another one that's wicked that I watched not so long ago is Robot Tricks. So this is a subgenre I'm going to start scratching the surface of, and I know that this was a good place to start, especially with Anthonywong being a bit of a cult followed actor, you know, like he's big in China, and he's got a cult following over here as well for these madcap roles he plays, because he does chew the scenery, like, you know what I mean, compared to all the others. He is bonkers. So anyway, that's enough of the description on the old Cat 3. Let's talk about the film. So the film then, yeah, it stars Anthonywong, and he's the owner of this restaurant. You get a montage sort of scene at the start where you see him murder the previous owner. They have an argument because Anthonywong's character's in debt with the gambling. The old what's the game called where they play the coloured stones? Hoang or something? I can't really think. And he goes to him asking for 28 grand, right? It's 28 grand, 28, whatever their money is. And the guy who owns the restaurant tells him no, like he's lent him enough, he owes him enough. So he ends up killing him in a rage, setting him, burning up the body, like, and then he takes ownership of the restaurant. But it's not long then before people start wondering where the other guy went. Like his brother writes a letter to the police to say he haven't heard from him and it's unusual. And his wife turns up on the beach all chopped up to bits. So yeah, you know, it kind of gets the local constabulary looking into the what they feel is a disappearance of this guy and his family, really. And you know, Anthonywong's character, the more he tries to get himself out of shit, the more he digs himself deeper into shit. Honestly, as a comparison to Cannibal Man, people might laugh because Cannibal Man is a 70s more arty horror film. But imagine Cannibal Man was made by Rob Zombie, was completely over the top. Then this is what you've got this guy who's trying to get himself out of a sticky situation, but he just keeps making it worse and worse and worse. And he anyway, so yeah, so his cock and bull story is that he bought the restaurant off this guy, and the guy just immigrated with his family and didn't tell anyone. But then, there's things like the fact that his kids were in school and they just left suddenly, and all this, and this is all the clues start to piece together. You could be noddy and work it out. But anyway, so yeah, so that's how the story goes really. So it's about this guy just trying to stay one step ahead of the police, and failing miserably basically. So yeah, if you want to talk about the gore and the violence, first of all, actually, I'll tell you what we're talking about first, is the juxtapositions. Because it's a Chinese movie, Chinese people, they're mad for these juxtapositions. 1 minute, you can be watching, like Robotrix is a good example, you can be watching what feels like a sci-fi Terminator rip-off, and then in a click of a finger, it's turned into soft porn for 15 minutes. And this is a bit like that. 1 minute is a slapstick comedy. You've got these bumbling cops. Oh my God, like I said, Noddy could do a better job than them. There's 3 guys, and it's like a girl. They keep ripping into the girl, because she keeps saying she got no ass, no tits, she's a tomboy, and all this. And she takes it off and fair dues. But they're all pervy, like their boss. He's hilarious, the chief. I'll put some pictures up here so you can see, in every scene he walks in with a different woman on his hand. And they're not people he's taking a date in, they're hookers, and he's arresting and just getting sexual favours off and letting them go. Oh, it's just beyond. And then, like I said, the juxtaposition, you've got this stupid slapstick comedy, and then all of a sudden, just boom, when it's on Anthonywong, the violence is just absolutely mind-blowing. I loved it. Like I said, some of the special effects weren't great, so it takes you out of it a bit, which can be a good thing sometimes. Mind, if it's too visceral, then, but anyway, so yeah, the violence, you've got loads of mad shit in this. There's urine drinking, there's bloody, there's, child murder, rape. Oh, there's this scene where he murders a woman with a handful of chopsticks. Oh my God, it's rank. You've got to see it. There's a brilliant scene where these hands wash up on the beach in a carrier bag, and they got to take the fingerprints, and when they try to do it, it's all all squishy, where it's been in the water for so long, the fingers. Oh, it's just absolutely gross. And there's a good funny scene as well where they find the limbs on the beach in a carrier bag, and the one bumbling detective says, that might have been a shark attack. The other guy's like, why the big sharks can use carrier bags? So yeah, that was hilarious. But like I said, the violence is strong. Is another bit I want to say. I can't get it. It's in my mind. I know it is. It was nearly as bad as the urine drinking, but oh, I don't know. Oh, there's some self-mutilation as well. There's attempted suicide with a can ring pull, and when the guy can't quite get it, bites the artery and just oh my God, it's rank. But like I said, some of the special effects are not great. Some of them are good ones. Some of them, it just only shows you what it can show you with good effects and needs the rest of the imagination. But when it tries to get too in detail with it, it loses it a bit. But anyway, yeah. So it was really good. The comedy, the violence. It was a proper category 3. If you had to show someone an example of what a category 3 movie is, Untold Story would be it. So overall, yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. I got to be honest. It's first time view. I've already watched it twice in the same week, mainly for the sake of doing this review. I'm going to start doing these now with the boutiques I buy, whether they get much traction or not, because I'm here to talk about movies at the end of the day. So yeah, this was really good. I highly recommend it to anyone, but if you are a bit sensitive, the violence, it does go there when it needs to go there. Alright, this movie gets a bumper 4 out of 5, so check it out. And just quickly, actually, on the transfer, it looked amazing. It can be a little bit soft in some places, but anyone who watches old video nasties on remasters will know that some of the shots, especially daytime shots on beachy areas and the sea, can look a bit soft and stuff. But the grain's pretty consistent and very light, although it can be a little bit heavy in 1 or 2 scenes. But overall, yeah, amazing work by 88 Films. They've got these newly commissioned subtitles up, and this shot by ear, so you can see how accurate they are. So yeah, that was pretty good as well. There is some modern phrases they use I don't really think they would have used in China in those days. They drop a few C-bombs, and then there's I don't know, there's just slurs, street slangs that they probably wouldn't have said, but that's all right, because it makes it more relatable for us anyway, so I don't mind the redone subtitles. Extras, they want a lot on there, because I'm not really into commentaries. There's 3 commentaries on there, so if that's your thing, then you're laughing. But there was a documentary type interview with Anthonywong. He come over to Britain, And it's a couple of years ago, but it's hilarious. He's a cool dude in his shades and his leather jacket, and he speaks good English, so he's worth listening to. So yeah, I am going to leave it there then. So thanks a lot. Like I said, 4 out of 5, right across the board. The book's amazing as well, really informative. So check it out, and I'll catch you soon.